This video demonstrates the finishing of the accounts controller as we attempt to insert our first site registrant into the clients table of the Acme database. First, we need to find and open the accounts controller. Once opened, we will add a require once to bring the accounts model.php file into scope so that we have access to the visitor registration function stored in the model. In order to make sure our controller recognizes that it is receiving input from the registration view, we will open it and confirm the presence of a key value pair for the controller to use. Open the registration.php file. It should be in the View folder. Scroll to the bottom of the form and confirm or add the hidden input. This means that it will not appear on the screen. The input will have a name attribute with the value of action and a value attribute with the value of register. Please note that both are lowercase. As long as we are here, we will make sure that each of the data inputs also has a name attribute that corresponds with the data to be inserted by the site registrant into the input field. Compare your form fields with those shown in the video. PHP case statements in the controller are case sensitive, so we can use lowercase or camel case name values and then use the same values in the controller when collecting and storing the data. Save the registration.php view and return to the accounts controller. In the controller, find the register case statement. If it is missing, add it. And add an echo statement that we can see on the screen if we successfully get to this case statement. See the screen for an example. We will quickly test to make sure things are working to this point. Make sure all files are saved. Run the Acme controller and the Acme homepage should be visible. Click the My Account link in the header. The login view should be displayed. Click the register link in the page and the registration view should now be delivered. Click the register button on the registration page. If things worked, you should see your echo statement on the screen. When we get data from a form or link and need to interact with it, there is a common pattern that we can follow. It consists of 8 general steps. 1. Filter the incoming data to prevent being hacked. 2. Collect and store the incoming filtered data. 3. Check that the data we expected to receive is present. 4. If data is missing, send it back to be fixed. 5. If the data is okay, send it to the model using a function for database interaction. 6. Check what the model returns to indicate the success or failure of the interaction. 7. Create a message to tell the site visitor the result of the interaction. And finally, 8. Call a view to take the message to the browser. We will follow those steps with slight modifications in the rest of this video. First, we will filter the data and store it into variables. The form's name values represent the database table's field name, and we will also use the same name for our variables. The data is being sent using a POST, and each input has a name that corresponds to the data we are asking the site visitor to provide. Each item is stored into a variable with a matching or similar name indicating the expected data. Next, we will use a very simple process to see if any data is missing. If it is, we create a message and call the registration view to display the message and allow the visitor to provide the information. Typically, we would display the information that was already given, but we will do that in a later video. Assuming that no data is missing, we will call the function in the model and send the variables with the data to it as parameters, as shown. Notice that we are placing a variable with an assignment operator to the left of the function call. That way, whatever is returned from the model will be stored into the variable. Finally, we will write an if-else test to see what the result is. In the models function, we ask the database server to report how many rows were changed as we attempted the insert. That number is returned, and we anticipate that it will be 1, meaning 1 new row was inserted. Our if-else test checks if the returned value is 1, and if so, creates a success message and sends it to the login view so that the visitor can practice using the email and password. If it fails, meaning it is 0, then a failure message is created and the registration view is returned to the browser. Because we intend to display a message in the Login PHP view, we need to add that functionality. Open the registration.php view and find the PHP code block above the form where the message is displayed if it exists. Copy the entire code block. Open the Login PHP view and create a blank line above its opening form tag and paste the PHP code block. The finished code should look similar to the code in the video. Please keep in mind that your folder names may be different than those shown in the video. Save and close the login.php view. Double-check your account's controller code against the code shown in the video. Again, please keep in mind that your folder and file names may be different than what you see. Make sure that no errors are being reported. Save all files. Again, run the Acme controller and navigate through the links until you are once again on the registration page. Fill in the form with your own information, then submit the form. You should be looking at the login view with the success message or the registration view with the failure message. In either case, open the phpMyAdmin tool and check the client's table in the Acme database. We can get false results because of logic errors, and the only way to be sure is to check the actual database. If everything worked, well done. If the registration failed, reach out to others and get some help until it works.